And planning commissioners. Tonight is Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, at 7:30 p.m. at a regularly scheduled planning commission meeting. Public officials with us in attendance: City Attorney Van Venerian and planning consultant Mr. Mario Ortega with McKenna. I'd like to toss it over to our vice chair, seeing that our chairperson this evening has informed us that he will not be in attendance this evening. So I'd like to toss it over to Mr. O'Rourke to chair tonight's meeting.
All right, thank you very much, Hannah. This evening, we'd like to first start with our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. So if everyone please rise, please, and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you for your attendance this evening. Hannah, if we could go ahead and take a roll call.
Novak, O'Rourke,
Yes.
Osnick,
Here.
Palmer, Witt,
Here.
Wolfson, Robertson.
Here.
Chairman, we do have a quorum for this evening.
Okay, thank you.
I move to excuse the chairman. He called in. He did call in. I'm not excusing everybody else because they don't call, but he did call. So
Okay.
I need a second for my to excuse him. The record would show.
I support that.
Yeah.
Okay, and do we take a vote on that?
Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a vote, please.
Novak, O'Rourke,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Palmer, Witt,
Yes.
Wolfson, Robertson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed.
Thanks. Do we have any requests for agenda changes this evening?
Don't believe
I would
so.
like to add election of officers, seeing as how
Recording in progress.
we have a situation with certain members that are absent on occasion, and I think it's time for a change of leadership. Every 2 years, when I was on planning commission before, we would switch off. So 2 years as chair, 2 years as vice chair, and then after that, then it would rotate again to whoever had never served would then get a chance as vice chair. So it would be a continuous rotation. So you're vice chair right now, right? I would make a nomination that you become chair and Bob Robertson becomes vice chair.
Okay.
And then that would move things forward.
Okay.
So I'll make that nomination that Dennis O'Rourke is the chair
Thank you.
and Bob Robertson will be the vice chair.
Do we have a second?
Going to have to be him because
I think we should do that when the chairman is back.
Okay.
With all due respect to everybody, I think that I would vote no on that. I don't want to send the wrong signal to.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Neil, when Neil's back, I think we just explain to him. It is time to rotate. There's no doubt.
It is.
So, but let's do that when Neil's back,
Okay.
rather than when Neil's out.
And I'll hold that over until the next meeting.
Okay, so we don't need to vote on this. We're withdrawing that request. Okay. Thank you, though.
No, I'm not opposed to any change. I think
that's
we
okay.
should, but I
Absolutely.
think Neil ought to be here.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll retract that particular request for an agenda change. Any other agenda changes? Okay, everybody has had a chance to read the minutes from May 10th. If we could get a approval for this?
I'll make
motion?
a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, and a second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead and take a roll call vote.
Okay. Novak, O'Rourke,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Palmer, Witt,
Yes.
Wolfson, Robertson.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. So now we'll open it up to audience participation. Audience members will be able to speak via electronic means as instructed below, or obviously if you're here live, you can step up to the podium. Do we have anybody electronically right now or virtual, Hannah?
It does not look like there are any audience members attending virtually.
Okay, and are there any audience members here today that'd like to approach? Okay, we'll move into communications. Do we have any additional communications today?
No, sir.
Okay. And we'll move into our public hearing. This is for PC 296, Site Plan and Special Land Use for the address of 1997 East West Maple Road. The applicant is Byron Godoy of Adrian's Tree Service.
If there are any audience members who would like to address the commission in regards to the public hearing for PC case 296, please approach the podium, state your name and address. You have 3 minutes to speak. I don't believe there are any audience members, so we can
Muy bien.
close public hearing.
Señor Godoy, quisiera hablar in Spanish or English, whatever you want.
No.
No? Okay. Brian's going to talk for you, the engineer. Está bien. Okay.
Okay, so let's move ahead and have a discussion by the board on this. And Mr. Ortega, do you have anything to add on this?
Yes, if you don't mind, I'll just go over some of the details of the application and summarize my letter for you rather than, because you have a copy of my review letters for both the special use and the site plan. So just for the record, this site is approximately 21,900 square feet in area and is Zone C2. It is occupied by a one-story, 4,161 square foot building that is designed and was occupied as a retail commercial structure. There is a six-space parking lot located in the front of the building, and the rear of the site is occupied by a detention pond currently. The applicant is proposing to reoccupy the existing structure for a landscape contractor's office and yard. So the applicant has indicated that the business has 5 employees and will be parking commercial vehicles and equipment on the site. When it comes to this particular use, it is not precisely listed to anything within our zoning ordinance. However, the characteristics of the proposed use, meaning basically the fact that they're going to be parking commercial vehicles outdoors, and the fact that the outdoor, and when you also look at the other similar uses we have in the city for outdoor parking of commercial vehicles, it's mainly in the C2 zoning district. So we would believe that the proposed use could be deemed similar to other uses in the C2 district. And the zoning ordinance does give the Planning Commission the authority to designate this particular use, even though it's not specifically listed, it does give you the authority to deem it similar and allow it to be located within the C2 district. And so we do believe it's appropriate that it be located in C2 with special use approval. So therefore, the reason for this review tonight. As I mentioned, I'm just going to point out a couple highlights. And the main point with my letter is when you look at special uses, you have to look at compatibility with surrounding uses in zoning. So the uses of the east and west are occupied by commercial uses. The property to the south of the site, though, is occupied by a townhouse condominium development. So as the proposed use has an office component, that component is compatible with the adjacent commercial uses to the east and west. Other commercial uses on the north side of East West Maple also have storage for other contractor vehicles and/or, vehicles being repaired. We have those type of uses on the north side of East West Maple. So, however, one specific characteristic is that all of these vehicles and the other uses are stored to the rear of their respective buildings. So we believe that the parking and staging of vehicles, preparing of vehicles for a day's work is typically done, for other uses within an enclosed storage yard. And that's mainly due to the fact that because of the noise and odor associated with these activities, they're not typically compatible with other types of more of a retail or residential land uses. So based on their site plan, the only remaining area for vehicle parking and staging is on the east side of the building. Vehicles in this area, however, would still be visible from East West Maple Road and could still negatively impact adjacent uses. So in order to ensure that the proposed use is compatible with surrounding uses, we recommend that all tree service vehicles and equipment must be stored either inside the building or behind the front line of the building. Once again, this is similar to other uses that are already on East West Maple. A screen fence and gate should be provided in line with the building's front wall, so mainly going from the southeast corner of the building to that east property line and having a opaque fence would create an effective screen, and therefore that the activities on the site would not negatively impact any adjacent uses. Just one other, couple other points is that, the intent of the C2 district is to provide for a variety of commercial uses. And within the city, the C2 district is the most appropriate in terms of, or the one that's most capable of handling these auto-oriented type of uses, because they're more intensive, these auto-oriented uses. And then also, that applicant is going to be reoccupying a vacant commercial building, so that we do believe that's in keeping with, the general development goals of the city to occupy, vacant structures, keep those to a minimum, and therefore meet the intent of the zoning ordinance. Finally, there are a host of other issues to consider, but we do believe that the proposed site is capable of accommodating the use. However, when it comes to just pointing out again, because it's something specifically indicated in the zoning ordinance, when it comes to site design and off-site negative impacts, as I just mentioned, the parking, staging, and preparation of commercial vehicles and equipment can have negative off-site impacts if they're not properly located and screened on the site. And also, we also find in practice that when these type of uses, they're located in a screened-in storage yard, then the business is allowed to thrive because they can operate without any hindrance from any kind of complaints, and also they are not negatively impacting any adjacent uses. So once again, to ensure the proposed use will not have these negative impacts, the vehicles should be restricted to either the interior, the rear, and the side of the building. In the end, we do recommend that the Planning Commission grant special use approval contingent upon 4 points that I've listed. I can read those out, or we can go over those later. But in the end, we would recommend approval contingent upon the creation of that screened-in storage yard.
Okay, thank you. That sounds reasonable from that standpoint. A couple of things. How many vehicles are we talking about? And what are the size, and are these cherry picker type vehicles? And then also, Mario, do we have restrictions on how many vehicles are allowed on a lot of this size?
Because of this particular use isn't listed in the zoning ordinance, there is no specific restriction.
Okay.
However, as this is a special land use, you could, in theory, limit that number. I would think, though, that because of the size and scale of the site and where that screened-in yard can go, it's going to limit it anyway. But other things we don't know, and I'm sure they'll tell us in a moment, is, for example, the interior of the building. I think they might have some parking capabilities inside the building, and maybe that's intent. I don't know. Those specifics weren't on the site. But they might have the ability to park more than just what was indicated on the site plan.
Okay, great. If you could state your name, address, and who you're representing, please, for the record.
Good evening, Planning Commission members. I'm Brian Biskiner from Powell Engineering, 4700 Cornerstone Drive, White Lake, Michigan. I'm here representing Byron Godoy, brother of Maynard Godoy, the site next door. They are brothers, and they essentially have identical businesses as far as I can tell. Byron might say he has better taste in music or something along that line, but we won't go down that road. But essentially, the identical type of business, it's kind of staging for their tree cutting and processing business that takes place away from the site. They bring their vehicles back, and the employees will park there during the day and that kind of thing. Just of note, they have no issues with the 4 conditions of the special land use in the special land use letter. If we're not aware, this portion of the building right here is a garage.
Okay.
So they park most of their vehicles in there currently. And the office is up here. There's no building plans because they're not, at this time, they're not looking to do anything but do cosmetic repairs, window flashing, clean it up as they do the small improvements that they're going to do to the site when and if they get their approval. Essentially, they have 5 employees. Some of the employees, if they have more, most of them meet at the site. They don't actually come to the business.
Okay.
Byron and whoever lives near, they park their vehicles there, but most of it is they pick up a couple of their larger vehicles and take it out there. to meet the other employees. And is it cherry pickers, wood chippers? What comes to the site as far as parking?
It's 4 dome wood chippers and 4 pickups. I put 3 in the garage and 3 stay outside.
Okay, and they don't have any problem with putting a fence along there just to create that barrier that Margaret was talking about and keep their vehicles back here, and then this would be employee parking, or they don't really have clientele that come there. I mean, I'm sure they could, but it's generally not that type of business.
And then the debris from the day's work, is any of that being brought back onto site, or is it all being taken away?
The vast majority, but do you bring back a stump or two or anything? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything.
Okay,
I've been there a couple times.
okay. How about the commission? Does anybody have any questions?
I think we've been through this before with the previous, it's almost the same thing, different, same family, I guess, but
Yep.
they're side by side. I don't see a lot of difference in that. The discussion before was, what are they going to do to the building? It's all cosmetic, so they're doing really nothing. It doesn't require a building. I mean, we can deal with that when you try to get permits, but site plan, I think they're ready to go. And I would support what they're asking for with the contingencies met, those 4, which basically goes along with what you've recommended. I don't see it any different than the other one. It's good that the brothers are side by side, and I can envision that they kind of work closely together. Are these the 2 brothers? I mean, there's, how many brothers are there?
6 brothers. This 6
6?
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good. I got 6 kids, so why not, right? Well, it's good. And you're the owner of the new place?
Yes, I'm the owner. This is my partner.
Okay. Oh, the partner. Partner doesn't say anything. Well, it's good. I'm going to support you here. I don't know if the other one's going to support you, but I'm going to support you. And, but I got to get a commitment from you. You're going to tell your brother to get to work on his project and get it done, because we're waiting to clean that place up. So if you want my vote, you got to leverage your brother and get the front done and all of that. But I'm on your side here. I'm going to vote yes whenever it's time,
And just one quick note about that, about Maynard's site. Some of the holdup has been this detention basin in the back, getting it. Oakland County updated their rules August of last year. Powell Engineering had developed this site in 1998, and so it was trying to get them to understand the new rules and what we needed to do to put that basin there to serve both sites, and so they've worked together.
You won't have the same issue with the new side, right? That's you're not doing the same thing, so somebody's going to move on this. We're going to get that.
Oh, right.
Good. The cosmetics are going to get done.
Absolutely.
And it's all getting done.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, again, you got my support. I believe that it's good for the business up there, and, but what I will say is one of the issues that comes to everybody's attention is Maple is one of our, main streets. It's our gateway. When they come by and they see the cars, the vehicles parked everywhere, and it's not done, that's where we're getting complaints about it, so if the quicker you get that done, the happier we're going to be, and that all goes away. But you're in the right area, you got my support. So.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions from the commissioner? Okay, if somebody'd like to make a motion,
I'll make the motion to approve
Which,
we have go ahead and,
the site plan.
PC 26?
Yeah, that's what's on the agenda, what Mario's recommendation.
I think we got 2 things. We got special land use approval, and then we have site plan approval.
correct.
Okay,
Probably.
Which one's
better to
appropriate to do first? I'm going to vote for all of them. So.
I believe it
Special
was your special land use that you were discussing, so.
That should be first.
Should do that first.
Okay, so-
Because if you don't get the land use, the building's moved.
all right, so we'll move forward with putting this out to the commission. The first one is going to be for a special land use, and do we have a motion for that?
And I'll make the motion for special land use.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll support that.
Okay. Hannah, if we could have a vote? Roll call.
Novak, O'Rourke,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Palmer, Witt,
Yes.
Wolfson, Robertson.
Yes.
Thank you. Special land use is approved.
Okay. And then the other item would be the site plan specifically. And also,
I'll move it, yeah.
there are 4 recommendations that McKenna has suggested, and if you believe that those should be part of the motion, please include those in your motion, and if not, then we won't. But if somebody'd like to make a motion,
I move to approve with the contingencies that are listed in his letter. I think you agreed to that,
with the
right?
recommendations from McKenna.
Did they understand? I mean,
They do. I went over it in detail with them. yeah.
Seguro. Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll support that one, too.
Okay, and can we put that to a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Novak, O'Rourke,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Palmer, Witt,
Yes.
Wolfson, Robertson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great, the motion passes. Congratulations, and thanks for bringing your business to Walled Lake. Appreciate it.
Tell Mike Powell,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
we all said hi from Wall Lake. Mike is, I guess he's still the owner, right? His name is on the...
Oh, Mike Powell.
Yeah.
Yes, he's still the owner.
Mike is, he's re-engineered that thing in the 70s?
1998 was this particular site, yeah.
Been around. I think he's older than me.
He's 69.
Well, he's not older than me then.
That way, yeah, no.
But then I haven't seen him.
Anyway, congratulations to your team.
Yeah, thanks,
Good
you
luck.
guys. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You
Appreciate
go
keeping
talk to your
business here.
brother.
Great.
Gracias,
All
señor.
right, bye-bye.
Mucho gusto.
So moving forward through the agenda, do we have any unfinished business?
We have unfinished business. We forgot to introduce our attending council member, who is sitting in the audience, Council Member Casey Robert Ambrose.
Oh, Casey.
Thank you for coming.
Great. It's good to see you as always. Any other unfinished business?
I think we're good.
Okay, new business.
Don't look like it.
Moving right along, commissioner comments. Does any of the commission have comments this evening?
No comment.
And in that case, we will adjourn the meeting for this evening. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you for coming this evening.